Conversations with Marc and Devi, the mediums. Marc Stuart, the Scottish medium, and Devi Wolf, the smallest medium. Conversations on topical subjects. On subjects other mediums would not dare talk about, but we do. For a quick reading, we can talk to spirits now. Scottish style mediumship. Hi, everybody.
Hello. In case I shut up or disappear or collapse, I'm not feeling very well. My sugar level's too low. I'm a type 1 diabetic, but I am stuffed with sugar. So I should go in the other direction.
In the other direction, in about 10 minutes, he's going to be going.
Yeah. So it's us again. So go to bed, go to sleep, switch us off, whatever you normally do when we appear.
Don't do that. What are we talking about today, Marc?
I can't even pronounce this, so bear with me.
Hexing the patriarchy.
Patriarchy.
When magic becomes activism. Activism, excuse me. I even have my mug that you can't read because it's backwards, but it says Hex the patriarchy, and this is the mug that I keep on.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Devi. You're still on mute. Nobody can hear you. No, you're on mute again. I know it's your problem because the mic's got a.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better. I can hear you now. Sorry, folks. We've got our back.
Sorry, guys. Technical issues.
So before we go into that, here's our usual news. Okay, so nothing major happening in the spiritual world. It's all about us tonight. We just released our newsletter.
It went out yesterday, I think.
I think it was about 2 days ago.
Was it the day before? It was the day before, yes.
Yeah. So we keep talking about this newsletter. Let's just show you what it looks like. So we call it the Scroll because it dates back to when the Romans were conquering the Celts in England and failed to conquer us in Scotland. There's a picture of our editor. You can shout at her if you want to come online and speak to her. News about what we're doing tonight. Yeah. So you can rush away and get the newsletter and read about what you just ran away from.
News about our themes.
News ideas. Now, this is actually something that's relatively, well, it's not new. We did try this a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've got this silly idea of trying to set a world record for the number of readings that a medium gives on stage or platform or on Zoom. So we contacted the Guinness Book of Records and we said, we're going to try and do 100 readings in a couple of hours. And they wrote back politely and said, as it wasn't verifiable, they weren't going to basically do it. So we did do an event, but we didn't get enough people at the event because we were trying to do it with one reading per person. I can't remember how many we had. It was about 20 or something like that.
Around 20 with some people coming and going.
Yeah. So we only gave one reading per person. So same idea as before. Obviously, we'd like to get 100 people or more.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is that I will be working and I will give every person that comes a reading, or at least I will attempt to. However, if we only get, say, 20, 30, 40, divide that number into 100, and that's the number of readings that I'm going to try and give every person. So the point is, the point to that is, if you come and you get the first reading, don't disappear, because about a third of the way through, you might get another reading, and about 2/3 of the way through, you might get another reading.
They'll keep going around the circle until he hits 100.
Yeah. And if I only get one person there, God help the torture.
What if they don't know that many dead people?
I've got the dog that you stepped on when you were 5, and the fly that you pulled the wing. You get the idea,
right?
Okay, so that's pretty.
That'll be in August, the beginning of August. So you've got a few months for that.
Yeah, the first Sunday in August. Basically, we talked about this last week. We are looking for people that have skills that would be willing to train with us. Now, we're looking for very specific skills. So don't, as I sort of kind of said last time, if you've got a mobile phone and you're sitting at home under a lamplight and you do a bit of knitting and crochet, don't bother contacting us, because we really are looking for people that have got skills that can trade for the training. I mean, just to put this into comparison, we would be providing you with about $10,000 of work on our behalf. The training, the website, the marketing. You're going to get the full red carpet treatment if you come and give us some part-time work. And you will be working. So don't make any mistake. Don't think you're just going to sign up and then disappear after a week and not do anything. We're looking for people to help with content, the blogs that we showed you, the newsletters. We're looking for technical people, very technical. We're looking for somebody that knows Java, somebody that can Velox, which is a version of Java for Wix, and somebody that could learn. I'm not expecting people to have this skill, but people that have structured data skills. I'm not going to it's very specific. But if you've got any computer skills, just contact us and I'll see if you can do it. And any graphic artists. We even did an article in line with our theme of feminism and spiritualism, basically a version of Hansel and Gretel.
Right.
Okay, so that was the newsletter. I think that covers most of the major. It doesn't cover Devi's adventures.
Oh, yes. I am heading out again tomorrow to the Pagan Unity Festival. I will not be riding a coup. I will be driving. It's about 3 hours.
She will be taking lots of photos to show you in the next
I will be taking photos and video. I do not know, however, that I will have internet access. So if you don't see them in the Telegram group, which you need to join, by the way, if you don't see them in the Telegram group, you'll get everything when I get back.
Yes, and please join us in the Telegram group because we're fed up speaking and not hearing back from people. We want to hear from you. There's a lot. I mean, you can see that the two of us are very, very active. We both have active lives in spiritualism, and we're doing things like church work, readings, all the rest of it. On a day-by-day basis, if you get involved, we can tell you things, you can tell us things, we can shout at each other, and we can bring our harassments out on you instead of just doing that.
More fun that way, right?
Yeah. Only other bit of news. Last weekend, we did one of the walks with Marc and Ying. We went around the Royal Botanical Gardens in Edinburgh. Now, we're not just talking gardens, we're talking about 500 years or more of history that gets covered at this location. So well worth watching. You'll find it, as per usual, you'll find it on the YouTube and Facebook. We also went out filming and we took the drone with us. Unfortunately, it proved a little bit too windy to use the drone.
It was quite windy.
I've got a new app that tells me how windy it is, and it says that the only day this week that's going to be not windy is going to be tomorrow. So I will be going back with the drone tomorrow to this location here. So that's my wife standing where I was supposed to be standing.
Oh, well, you can hear the wind.
You can hear the wind. And from there, you can see the castle, and the drone would fly across the sea to the castle because you weren't allowed to take the drone to the castle. So that's how far away she was. Do you see how seriously how much work we're putting into this, folks? Okay, well, that's the news.
That is the news. That is the absolute news. So I guess it's time we get started. I need to put my witch hat on.
Well, I suppose the only other thing is, just as per usual, we have a blog about what we're talking about tonight. So markstuartmedium.com/blog, Magic, Mediumship and Female Protest. And you'll find out, let's be clear, Devi and I have very different opinions about tonight's topic. So,
it was written by Marc, so it does not hold my opinions. Some of it is incorrect as far as I'm concerned.
This article was written by me, so this is my opinions on tonight's subject. So if you don't agree with me, don't read the article, or go and read comments on the article. Go and leave comments on the article.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, Devi, over to you.
So I guess we're talking about, I don't know, your first discussion point to me makes no sense whatsoever. Is ritual magic genuine power or symbolic protest? Magic is not protest necessarily. No, it is not.
You're missing the point I was trying to make.
Okay, what was the point? Because it didn't make any sense.
I think magic's a load of crap to start with.
Well, you're very wrong on that nature. I have done a lot of magic in my 35 years as a witch, and most of it has worked.
Yeah, but I'm not disagreeing that you can't make things happen. What I'm disagreeing with is the explanation as to what you were doing. I'm a mental medium, and that can come across in two different ways, psychic or spiritual. So psychic is where I'm zapping you. Psychic is where I'm asking my guide to zap you.
And what I do
And
is neither of those. You don't think I know when I'm doing spiritual work or psychic work? What I do sometimes I work with the ancestors, sometimes I do. Most of the time I don't. It's my
well,
personal power.
give me an example of what you would describe as your magic.
Well, the last time I cursed someone, they ended up in jail. Last 2 times, actually.
Uh-huh. And I would say that what you were doing was you were getting one of your guides or one of your spirit helpers to go.
You don't think I would know if I was doing that? Come on, Mark. Give me a break.
No, you wouldn't know.
Of course I would know.
No.
Yes, I would.
Synchronicity doesn't work that way. Synchronicity
well, this isn't synchronicity. This is manifesting something, putting energy out into the world to cause a result.
Mm-hmm. I agree with what you just defined as. But I don't say that's magic. I say that's psychic.
It has nothing to do with being psychic.
Or connecting to the spiritual realm and having the spiritual
I know a lot of witches who are not psychic and not mediums. Period.
But they still have spiritual guides that will help.
Yes, they do. They do. Most of them do. Yes. No, at least most of them know about them. Put it that way. But that has nothing to do with what we do. My guides do not take over. My guides yell at me when I do that kind of work. Okay.
Okay.
They're not helping.
We're not going to agree on this point, and we could spend the next 25 minutes. So let's just.
He's wrong. On. Just he's just wrong. Right. So we can move on, I guess.
Okay. To be actually honest, it doesn't really matter, because we're not talking about whether it's spiritual or whether it's voodoo or whether it's magic. What we're talking about is the fact that there are more females involved in all of this than there are men, and is what's going on in the world. And what do I mean by what's going on in the world? Well, you don't have to live in America to realize that you've got a president who is anti-female rights. You've got a Republican Party that would like to take women back to, I was going to say the 1950s, but no, we're talking
before that, the 1850s.
The 1850s, not the 1950s. And is spiritualism, well, I mean, spiritualism was almost female dominated, even if you go back to the 19th century. And if you expand that further back to witchcraft or Wicca, to use its more modern.
Wicca was born in the 1950s by a man. It was created by a man that has nothing to do with feminism whatsoever. He was actually very misogynistic.
Yeah, but there's more women do it than men.
I wouldn't agree with that. At the festivals I go to, it's pretty even.
When I look at a Facebook group, it's female run, female dominated.
Oh, if it's a witch group, sure, but not a pagan group.
But we're not talking pagan. We're talking witch.
All right. I would say at least 45% of my witch friends are male.
45% is a sizable minority, but it's still a minority.
That's just one person's experience, so I don't know.
And from somebody that's not involved in Wicca, that's looking at it from the outside, my perception is that it's totally female. I mean, I will admit,
that's because you know nothing about Wicca or its history. Don't pretend to know something when you know nothing, Mark.
I'm not pretending. I'm playing the market research guinea pig, looking at it.
He didn't do very much market research, because if you didn't realize this, so yeah. The one thing about Wicca, all right, is it was the first formal organized religion to have the god and the goddess, both male and female, equal at the top of the heap.
Okay, and that reinforces what I'm saying. It's got a goddess And most religions, of the 4,200 religions, probably less than a dozen of them would have a goddess.
I disagree. Almost all of the pagan religions have goddesses. And that includes most of Africa that hasn't been converted, South America, Australia, all the pagans in Europe and America.
Okay, right. Again, we're going round in circles and we're getting away from the major topic of conversation.
All right, so tell us what the major point is.
Let's create a tent that covers everything from spiritualism through to voodoo. And I'm not saying voodoo because there are people that believe and practice in voodoo. I'm not saying that to be derogatory. I'm just saying let's cover all of it. Non-standard religion under, I don't know, let's just call it a generic alternative
alternative religions
lifestyle, because then we're going another, we're then
alternative
religions. Yeah. My perception, certainly from spiritualism, it is 90 to 95% female dominated in terms of numbers.
Yeah.
And in terms of religious personalities, and I don't mean demigods, I mean mediums. And I'm defining mediumship as a religion. I'm not defining it as an entertainment, because I'm a spiritual Christian medium.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So there are male mediums, but we only make up about 25 to 30% of the mediums. Female mediums, probably actually, there's more female mediums than that. So that's where
unfortunately, it's the male ones that get famous.
Because we're sex symbols. As he has done, and does the shirt again. Sorry, darling, that's my wife. There's nothing to worry about, darling. Nothing.
Oh, come on, Mark, take it off. Show us.
Well, you asked for it.
No, please don't. Please don't. That's not magic. Trust me, it's not magic.
Correct. So anyway, back to the main topic. Let's narrow it down then. Let's not get sidetracked into definitions of witchcraft. Let's just talk about mediumship. Let's just talk about spiritualism. Is female involvement in that a way of protesting against the I can't even pronounce it, the male domination of society, the patriarchy? Yes or no? What do you think?
No.
Why not?
Well, it may have been when it started. I don't necessarily think it is now, though, because there are plenty of mediums who embrace the patriarchy.
Yeah. There's many women embrace the patriarchy, but I mean,
exactly, women too. I mean, I'm speaking female mediums, not just the men.
Yeah. Okay, then, can it be a way of fighting the patriarchy?
I guess it could be.
Should it be a way of fighting the patriarchy?
Possibly. We need every method of fighting the patriarchy that we have.
Why? What's wrong with the patriarchy?
Rolling my eyes.
I'm just trying to get the conversation going.
All I can do is roll my eyes and not out loud, right?
She is the chief executive officer of the business, so this is just me in rebellion mode.
Right. He's just
juniors around the world unite.
Right. But most spiritual practices in the world reinforce patriarchy. The big ones, at least, right? The Abrahamic religions.
Yeah.
So it's only fair to have the divine feminine, which is what drew many, many women to paganism, is the divine feminine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, let me ask you a question then. What is divine feminism? Define it.
The divine feminine is a feminine goddess, like Gaia, the earth.
I've got a big shock for you. I don't know how many spirits I've given messages on behalf of in my career as a medium, which is probably about a decade and a half. But certainly we're into thousands, if not ten. Well, not quite tens of thousands, but certainly multiple thousands. I have never once had a spirit say they talk to God or they talk to the goddess.
Oh no, never. It's more of it's a spiritual. The way pagans look at it, most pagans at least, that deities are representations of aspects of whatever their higher power is.
I've got another spanner to throw in the works. There is sex. Okay, let's go over this step by step. There is sex on the other side. We are male or female, and let's not get into
not necessarily, but okay, go ahead.
Yeah, whether you say you're a man, whether you say you're a woman, let's just put that aside. On the other side, there are families, there is sex, there are children. Full stop. I know that. I can prove it because I give readings. Full stop. I'm an evidential mediumship. Just take my word for it. There is no, like I get couples coming forward. There are strong females, strong males. There is no society structure for girls are in charge or boys are in charge. That's human creation on our realm. It's not a spiritual aspect. So is the concept of a patriarchy, or what's the other version? The
matriarchy.
Right. Yeah. Those are human inventions, words to describe society. Are we trying to impose something onto spiritualism that doesn't exist?
I don't think it existed at first, that's for sure. But I don't think spiritualism is necessarily a matriarchy. I think it's more of an equal, separate but equal kind of thing.
No, but I mean, what I mean is, we're talking. I mean, the subject tonight is fighting against the patriarchy.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean to say that you want a matriarchy. God, my God, I've managed to pronounce the two words without. Fighting one because it's wrong doesn't mean to say you're trying to create the other one.
Right.
So let's just keep it simple. Patriarchy as a concept is bad because by definition it's one sex dominating the other.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, by the same definition, if you created a matriarchy, that's as equally bad. Equality, living in divine synchronicity. But are we creating something artificial by saying spiritualists should be fighting against the patriarchy?
I think everybody should be fighting against the patriarchy. Every human on earth should be fighting against the patriarchy.
Unless you're a man enjoying the benefits of the patriarchy.
In which case you can go to hell. Oh, yeah, the website didn't say that. Yeah, you can. If I believed in hell. I don't really. So I just said that.
Well, it depends what you mean by hell. You pay for what? How to put this?
Well, as they place heaven and hell as places. Yeah. No, yeah. They don't. No.
No, but you do carry with you the guilt that you.
Oh, of course.
You hurt somebody in this life, you know about it in the next life. That's essentially what I mean.
Unless you get rid of it while you're still on Earth.
Yeah.
And I gave up guilt for New Year's many years ago. It was the best thing that ever happened.
And we're not all Mother Teresa or Gandhi, so...
No. But I don't do guilt.
We're all going to be suffering to some extent when we get there.
No, I don't do guilt. Never.
Guilt's the wrong word. You're aware of what you do. You're aware of... I mean, it's not all... We're not talking about being vicious, but if you say something that hurts somebody that you're not aware of... And
okay. I'm usually aware, though. I'm pretty aware about that kind of stuff.
Not always.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all just human beings. We're all like this, where we go about our busy life. We've got our perception. We meet somebody. We're never going to meet that person again. We say something out of context, not thinking about it. And that other person has a diametrically opposed perception of whatever it is that's going on, and they're mortally wounded. Now, I'm being sarcastic and I'm talking in mumbo jumbo, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
about. I'm from Scotland. Okay. Here's a good example. Race relations. Here in Britain, to use the word Negro to someone who is black is the absolute worst insult you can.
It's pretty bad here too.
Yeah, but if you say someone is black, that's accepted. Whereas in America, if you say somebody's black, contextually, that's not accepted. At least that's my perception.
No, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You're wrong.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's what we
Right.
say is people are black. For a while, you had to say African American, but even the black people got tired of that. So
fair enough. Okay.
Black
But
or brown people.
you see what I'm saying, though? In that, we could sit here and find another example. From a different culture, I would come over and I would say, you are blah, 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 not meaning anything other than you've got pink spots on your skin. And in America, saying to somebody, you've got pink spots on your skin, when I should have said, you're a feminist aphrodisiac because you've painted yourself pink spots.
A feminist aphrodisiac.
It's getting late, Devi. Give me some. Give me some.
It's late where he is. It's early where I am. It's still almost 5 o'clock where I am. But what is that? 11.
We're not quite on the wrong side of 11 o'clock, but we're heading towards midnight over here in Scotland. Okay, I think we've gone round in circles and not actually said anything or covered very much. But do we have?
I would love to see your comments. Do you agree? Disagree? What do you think about all of this? I really would like to see what your comments are. So
leave your comments, follow us, condemn us, burn us at the stake, but make sure you
No. Nobody's burning me at the stake this life. Nope.
You can burn her at the stake. Just make sure you click like first.
Okay.
Okay, folks, it's getting late. So
we'll see you next week.
Let's just run through. If you want the newsletter that we talked about earlier, that's where you go and register for it. markstewartmedium.com/newsletter. Please subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Just remember, this video for this event will be deleted in 30 days. Whereas if you want to go and see all the streaming events that we've ever done, and all the disasters that we had setting things up and learning how to do it.
Oh, yeah. Go look at the really early ones. They're kind of funny.
Yeah. Scottish Medium, you can find it all there. If you want some free training, and I'm serious, if you want some free training, we do 2 open circles a month. So it's calendly.com, Marc Stuart Medium, open-circle-workshop. I will put all these links in the text once we've done this.
Right.
This weekend, you're going to have the opportunity to get a reading from me. I will be doing my feminist oracle card.
If I get home on time, I'll be there.
And I want to see the videos. If you come online, get the videos up.
Okay, I'll do my best. That might not. I might not have time to do that part though.
Well, look, you take the portable computer, you set it up on the table, and you get
No, I'm not taking my laptop. I'm not taking my laptop.
I did a tour of America with 2 laptops. I mean,
yeah, but you stayed in hotels too. You weren't camping.
But yeah, but I would never go camping. Never ever in a month of Sundays would I go camping.
Oh, come on, these cabins are bougie. They have heating and air conditioning, so.
Right, so they've got sockets for powering your laptop.
No, I am not bringing it.
Okay, folks. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Bye, guys. Have a wonderful week.
And Sunday, 8 o'clock UK time. So that's 3 p.m.
Eastern, 2 Central, 1 Mountain, noon Pacific.
I don't think I've got the event up, but I'll get it up as an event between now and the weekend. I will be using 3 cameras, so you'll see me, the card, and the shuffling. And if you want a reading, you have to have a camera on, and you will appear as well. I don't do readings by text. So see you on Sunday, and we'll see you next Wednesday. The Marc Stuart Medium Network. Full details at markstewartmedium.com/network. Across multiple platforms, delivered with our unique Scottish humour